Okay, we're back with another Play to Order, and today we have Yakuza 2 on the PlayStation 2. Yakuza 2 is obviously by Sega. Another one that you don't really see branded as one of their flagships, at least in America. You see a lot of homages in their franchises with like Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, but nothing Yakuza related in there at all. So it's kind of had a troubled history here in America anyway, so maybe that's the reason Sega doesn't bring it to the forefront. But it's still wildly popular in Japan, so it's still surprising to me. And here's a cutscene giving away some of the bigger moments in this game. One thing I do not miss is the muddy, blurry textures and full motion video that they have on the PS2 system. There's kind of that bridge gap where PS1 you really couldn't do something like this very well, and then PS2 they tried to make it look realistic, but there's still too many. The polygons still weren't there, and the resolution just made it not look very good. And it looks like your little girl is kidnapped. She's not really your little girl, but you're her caretaker, I guess. So the game easy, just because we want to kind of get into this pretty easily. I need to find that font. That's a pretty cool font. It'd be nice for our web design. Got a little bit of disco going on in the 1980s. Huh. So, did not know that disco must have lasted a little bit longer in Japan than it did here in the States. I feel sorry for them. Not sure who this is or how it pertains to anything, but I'm sure we'll find out. Look at that doorknob. There's like 8 sides to that doorknob. Not a circle. You really take that stuff for granted nowadays, and even in PlayStation 3 is very good about stuff like that. Looking for somebody. So did you see him? In Korean. So we have Koreans in Japan. Rival gangs, probably. Wait, your shoulder's sticking out, man. You can obviously see that. You didn't even wait to let him get down the hallway before you save this guy. I guess it is life and death, but why risk your hide? Ooh. Bad guys don't mess around here. This is a rated M game. It's pretty mature if you haven't realized that by now. I think I had that haircut at one time. That's probably not the way to handle it. She probably does not understand you. A slap to the face is not going to help you convince her that you're the good guy. Maybe. Okay. So does that baby maybe pertain to... Well, let's see here. Probably 20 years afterwards? 28? 25? Oh, yeah, more than 20. Had the same exact haircut for 20 years, too. Mix it up a little bit, man. So obviously, yeah, this game is very, especially when you get into PS2 era, a lot of these games really started to get into story and cutscene pretty heavily, and this game is really no different. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's almost like a Game of Thrones level on trying to understand the hierarchy on a lot of this stuff, as far as the gangs are concerned, and who hates who, and all that jazz. Chinese. So the first Yakuza came out on the PS2, and Sega really tried to make it be a big hit in America. They localized everything with voice acting and all, and really put a lot of effort into making it work over here, but it did not sell at all, at least not into their expectations. It's still a pretty niche thing. So when the second one came around, it was all, there was no voice acting anymore. It's just translations on the bottom. So you gotta read it. Just have to read. Nothing wrong with that. It's still better than not getting it at all. Right, Sega? I'm pointing at them because they are kind of refusing to bring over Yakuza 5. Yakuza 2 was released in 2008, which was 2 whole years almost, after the PlayStation 3 actually came out. So it's a no wonder why the second one did not sell very well either, and that's why the second one is also a very uncommon game to find, very expensive even for a used copy. Buyer here got a great deal on this game, but yeah, usually it runs the $40–50 mark. And it's steadily climbing. So if you find it out in the wild, definitely pick it up, even if you use it for a trade or whatever. So all these gangs kind of have chairmen, which are just different leaders, partners, I think, in the Yakuza gang that they're affiliated with, which the main character is from the Tojo clan, Kazuma Kiru, sorry, is the main character. If you remember the first game's box art, it was him on the back, his whole back with that huge tattoo on it, and that probably led to some of the sales figures not panning out for him, because it looked badass for some people that wanted it, but for a lot of people that might have turned him off, not really explaining what the game is. I've played the first one, but I do not remember much. I do remember that Club Stardust thing and the guy in there. I've never played the second one. Played a little bit of the third one, and have not played the fourth or the Dead Souls, which I think the Dead Souls one is kind of a departure, but I've heard it's also pretty fun. But yeah, if they bring over Yakuza Dead Souls, why are they not bringing over Yakuza 5? Maybe now that Atlas is part of the Sega family, maybe they'll take it under their wing and say, we need to get this over there. It's important for the American market to keep going with this story. And yeah, story goes on and on here. We kind of picked a game that has a lot of upfront exposition to tell you what's going on. But if you're interested in knowing what the gameplay is like, it's mostly a beat-em-up brawler. But it also has a lot of simulation, walking around bits. At least the first one had a lot of that. And the third one too. So I would imagine this one does. There's that tattoo, like I was talking about. But yeah, the best way I could describe the Yakuza series would be maybe Shenmue crossed with Streets of Rage. Both of which are being Sega franchises, so it's kind of easy to blend them together. All those people that are out there signing petitions and begging Microsoft and any old person that'll listen about Shenmue 3, which isn't going to happen on the scale that you want, try Yakuza. I'm guessing a lot of you have, but if you haven't and you like Shenmue, this will hold you over and maybe keep your anger at bay a little bit about the cliffhanger in Shenmue 2. So really been a whole year. I'm assuming they mean since the first game. So it's been a year since the first game. And we're moving around. I don't know how many minutes that was, but quite a few minutes. And this is part of Shenmue. You got the mini-map on the bottom, and kind of they give you control of stuff like this. A lot of games would not do this. It's just a lot of games in the PS2 era were either on this side with the story beats, and you actually have control over some things, as minute as seeing a friend in a graveyard, or it just went into the gameplay. And Yakuza, as you can tell, is not one of those games. I already said that. Oh, okay, so that's cool if you want to be spoiled for the first game. If you didn't play the first game, you could actually go through and hit yes. That is actually a really cool thing. I'm guessing maybe it has some cutscenes from the first game in there. Leave those memories undisturbed. Yes. That, I really like that little piece of functionality where you could kind of catch up on the story if you haven't played it. That's really cool. Good job, Sega. In the interest of time, maybe if I was playing this game all the way through, I would have gone through that, but in the interest of time, we're going to skip that. Fifth chairman, Yokai Terada?
ここは人の魂が安らかに眠っとるところや。そこを血で染めるような下品な真似はせんやろ。しかし、柏木の頭から保護に抜かりはないようにと言われておりますので、一人で差しで話をしたいもんがおるんや。
They do throw a lot of names around like you're supposed to know them. Like I said, kind of like Games of Thrones, where eventually you catch up with the story and figure it out. They don't sit there and explain it to you all up front. But when you have cutscenes this long, you would think they do. But it's pretty complex.
どうして自分だけが残っちまったんでしょうか。しかし、仇となった今は。
Whoa, she's kind of got like a creepy doll thing going on there. But yeah, he is not in the Yakuza anymore. Just like a sequel to most movies. He gets pulled right back in, I bet. That's a little cliche, but I'm guessing that's what happened. Honest man, yeah.
実は近江連合の合田会長と杯を交わそうと思っております。杯？近江連合との全面戦争を避けるにはもはやそれしか方法が。そこまで東上会は追い詰められているのか。1年前のあの事件で東上会の内部はガタガタです。戦争となればまた多くの血が流れ、東上会は近江連合に乗っ取られてしまいます。 それだけはなんとか避けたいと。お前と合田会長では格が違う。向こうがその話を飲むとは思えんがな。
Very few people can pop a collar and make it look good.
十二分に承知しております。
But Kiru does.
しかし、寺田。
Kazuma Kiru.
東上会の5代目はお前だ。仇の俺が口を挟むことじゃねえ。先代なら東上会のこの危機をどう乗り越えるか。 ご意見をお聞かせください。先代。
Whoa. You thought wrong. You thought they wouldn't be here, but here they are.
お前ら何のマネだ。寺田藩の首いただきに来たんや。 関西の送り込んできた鉄砲玉か。東上会のボディーガードは脇が甘いですな。うちの組員たちのあとは穴掘って埋めるだけですわ。なんやと。ここは墓地や。運ぶ手間省けてええとちゃいますか。はるかと逃げてくれ。しかしその体に東上会の未来がかかってんだ。
Okay, finally. The actual meat and potatoes of Yakuza. Yeah. First we have to load though. Okay. Omni Alliance Assassins. Okay, and this is where the tutorial is too. So, let's see. You do have combos, but it's mostly light and heavy. It's no Batman, but the one thing Yakuza is known for is getting some of the items and just doing some brutal murders with them. Okay, so you can also grapple, and ooh, people explode into a blood stain. So nice that they had guns and everything, but they're nice enough to just stand around me to pick them off one by one. Okay, so weapons, yeah. So we got a weapon here. Any weapons? Okay. I'm not even sure what those are for weapons, but they sure do a lot. And discarding. Oh, wrong button. I like the little girl is over there just watching. I thought the fat guy was supposed to take her. Come on, get me. Okay, so now we got some crazy stuff. Basically have a super meter where you can just do some all-out murders. Oof. Brutal. Oh. How do you get up for that? Anything else over here? He got up easy with the white one. What? See, this is what I mean. No guy could pick that up if it's made of stone. Oh, wow. Yep. This is why people play Yakuza, along with a lot of the mini games and stuff. Oh, that's brutal. And you can tell it's a Japanese game by doing stuff like this. Do you want to do it again? No. Why would you always default to yes? If you were just flipping through, you hit yes. So I call that Zelda syndrome. I don't know how many times you talk to that owl over and over and over again. Ooh. That is more than a scratch. Bigger man? I don't think so. Your double chin says otherwise. They do animate that chin though. That poor girl has to be scarred. I'm sure she's seen stuff like this before, but that stuff was brutal. For PS2, that stuff was brutal. Yeah, it looks like you were doing your job really well. You didn't even try anything. He just calmly says, I'm sorry, he's dead. I would think that you'd be able to stop the blood loss by then. Maybe not. I'm not a doctor. Yep. Kazuma is back in the game. And that might be a good place to stop before they get into the next whole section of story. I don't want to give away too much of this story in case you do want to play it, because you should. So that must be the wife of the clan leader that was in the first one. There's a lot of chairmen, but way more chairs. Not enough men for these chairs. Okay, yeah, let's call it. Let's call it here. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Yakuza 2 is a pretty good game in all accounts from everybody I've talked to about it. Some even better than the original, even though the original was a little bit easier to get into for the common American. But yeah, try the series. 3 is pretty good. I have not heard anything on 4. I'm sure it's good though. 3 had some censorship stuff. They took out some Japanese cultured things that maybe Sega thought would not fly in America, and that upset a lot of people, because at this point the people that are buying the Yakuza games are not the common American. But I would think they would still have enough to... 4th one, they did add all that stuff back in. But it must not have sold, because they're still holding out on the 5th one. They also, for how funny this seems in an American mind, they are remaking the first and the second one, this one, into an HD version. Collection, because it's the 2 games together, on none other than the Wii U. Obviously this is for Sega, or for Japan only at this point, but I can't see how it would come to America. If it can't even come on, if the 5th one can't even come on PS3, the market for Yakuza 1 and 2 HD on the Wii U, very, very, very low market for that. I don't think the crossover for Yakuza lovers on a Nintendo platform is all that big to begin with. So it might not even fly in Japan, where this game is really big. Just because she got married into this, seems like she takes it a little seriously. Yes, ma'am.
関西に行く前にどうしても会いたい人間がいます。誰だ？堂島大吾です。堂島組長とあなたの息子さんです。どうしてだ？寺田が死に登場会は柱を失った。今の登場会を立て直せるのは
just trying to get through this
絶対に屈しない男です。今の登場会にはそうした男が必要
I'm just trying to get through this last cutscene, but it goes on and on and on. It will not end, and unskippable. But that is open. What happens when Kazuma talks to Daigo? You'll have to find out. See ya!